Oi, gente! I'm Brianna, and welcome back to BAMJ Praia, the podcast where we explore the beauty and sustainability of island life on Ilha Grande.
Hello everyone, it feels so good to be back, and for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, I'm Jacob, and in our latest episode, we explored the life on the island, its people, its economy, and its history.
Ilha Grande isn't just about the land, its waters are just as full of life, mystery, and unfortunately growing challenges.
That's right, and today we're heading beneath the waves to explore the island's aquatic ecosystems. From vibrant coral reefs to Japanese cuisine, the waters around Ilha Grande are home to some of the most diverse marine life in Brazil.
And joining us for this deep dive today is our marine expert and co-host, Anna. Anna studied marine biology at the University de São Paulo and gained both a bachelor's and master's degree.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. There's so much to uncover about the balance between marine biodiversity and human impact, and I'm super excited to share.
Exactly. We'll be breaking down food chains, highlighting keystone species, discussing local fishing practices, and exploring conservation regulations that help shape the future of the island's marine environment.
Vamos! Let's start by breaking down the ecosystem and its food chain.
Ilha Grande's marine life is incredibly diverse, with thousands of different organisms of all shapes and sizes. To name a few, I've compiled a list of my favorite marine animals that I'd love to share with you. So we have the banded butterfly fish, the Atlantic sea bob shrimp, the Brazilian puffer, the French angelfish, the gray triggerfish, green moray eel, the goru, the bird's whales, the Guyana dolphins, humpback whales, and bottlenose dolphins.
Hey, did you know that bottlenose dolphins are also known as apex predators? That means not only Flipper the dolphin is fun to watch, but he plays an important role in keeping other fish from overpopulating. Just one reason why we should be protecting them.
Fire, but did you know that there are also other species we should protect, known as keystone species, that play a key role in the ecosystem? Within the beautiful Mata Atlantica is an exclusive, ferocious feline, the jaguar. As apex predators, these carnivores regulate the populations of their prey, which helps maintain the balance of the food chain. They prey on deer, unfortunately my favorite, capybaras, rabbits, turtles, and many other animals.
Keystone species aren't always apex predators. The beautiful coral reef shapes and supports the entire marine ecosystem by providing shelter and habitat for a variety of aquatic organisms. They also act as food sources for fish and invertebrates. They can even help filter the water and supply oxygen into the ocean.
That's right, and without these species, the ecosystem would lose its delicate balance, resulting in a trophic cascade that could wipe out entire species populations. Luckily, the people of Ilha Grande have done so much to keep these keystone species healthy. Unfortunately, however, not all species are so beneficial to the environment, and there happen to be a few invasive species, most of which are snails. And my least favorite is the ugly red rim melania. I hate these things. These ugly creatures outcompete native snails and mollusks due to their extreme, rapid, and frequent asexual reproduction. Not only are they ugly, but they are also disgustingly unsanitary. Red rim melania carry trematode parasites that harms locals and other animals, especially the fish in freshwater rivers.
Yes. Unfortunately, my brother got sick last year from one of those trematode parasites. It was horrible. Like, I actually don't recommend it at all. Please do not catch it. It's disgusting.
Would you ever recommend?
And I understand your hatred for them. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
real.
These. Did you know another freshwater terrorizer is the acute bladder snail? Although they don't have parasites, they do reproduce at an unsustainable rate, resulting in over-depletion of algae.
Yeah, and the last invasive snail I'll talk about is the giant African land snail.
I can't. They're so ugly. I actually can't. It like makes me want to like. It's so bad.
She is not lying.
No, they're so ugly. I actually can't.
Insert photo now.
Insert photo now. Like you actually want to. They're.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like gonna.
No, it's okay.
Why are they rabbit-sized? It's
Yeah,
like
I agree with
disgusting.
Yeah, no, me too.
When they're fully grown, they can become 8 inches of pure environmental destruction, which is probably why they're banned as being household pets in the United States.
Like, why would you even want one of those as a household pet?
right.
Let's be serious.
And they have an unnecessary large appetite to sustain their extremely fat bodies. And because of this, they have a tendency to destroy habitats and ecosystem structures. Even worse, they carry parasites that can cause meningitis, which would obviously have a major negative impact on the local population. This is not Skibbity, Ohio race at all. Shout out Jeffrey and Henry.
Interesting word choices, Jacob. Negative aura, for sure.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's like having an 8-inch Godzilla that eats everything in sight and leaves parasites as a parting gift.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Except they're slower and slimier and uglier.
Okay, wow. They're disgusting! They're disgusting! I can't, they're disgusting, but not all invasive species are this ugly. However, in fact, there are 19 total aquatic invasive species, with the most impactful being sun coral and the orange cup coral. These corals spread rapidly in hard native coral reefs via tissue necrosis. Surprisingly, they are also able to emit toxins and chemicals, reducing coral health and killing fish. This not only affects the ecosystems, but this also affects the fishers around the island.
I agree, especially within the Kaisara communities, who are small-scale fishermen. These fishers utilize simple methods passed down through generations. And coming up, we have a similar story. And these practices are tailored to the local marine environment. Fishers on Ilha Grande catch a variety of fish like tuna, sardines, northern red snappers, Atlantic croaker, and ocean tigerfish through pole and line rigs and gill nets.
Yeah, so these traditional fishing methods, along with regulations and enforced fishing laws, have truly helped ensure that the island sustainably fishes their stocks. Even the fact that individual fisheries are utilizing pole and line fishing techniques shows how dedicated the locals are to reducing bycatch and preventing overfishing. This island really knows how to take care of their ecosystem.
And for those who aren't familiar, overfishing occurs when fish are harvested from the bodies of waters at rates that exceed the ecosystem's natural capacity to replenish them. This practice leads to the depletion of fish populations, disrupts food chains, and degrades marine habitats.
Thank you so much for the explanation.
Yeah,
It was greatly needed.
Yeah. So luckily, many people that are on the island are strong advocates for environmental protection and preservation. The integrated management of the Ilha Grande Bay ecosystem project establishes the BIG initiative, which promotes sustainable management by balancing industrial growth with the preservation of natural resources. The initiative includes a monitoring system called the Radar BIG to identify environmental pressure points and propose various solutions. The island also established a watershed committee made up of local stakeholders who provide a platform for conflict resolution and sustainable management for the bay's ecosystem.
In my research, we also interviewed local fishers. Some have admitted to struggling, and few have not been able to sustain their businesses. This is something we still need to work on the island.
So guys, I actually have an interesting story. If you didn't know, my family owns a fishing business on the island and has been able to adapt to the required changes to keep fishing sustainable, but not without their fair share of struggles. My grandfather always loved sharing the history of fishing on the island with us and with the role of our family. In the beginning, the Tamoyos Indians most likely utilized primitive, basic fishing techniques along the coast of Ilha Grande. After Portugal's discovery of the New World, Black Africans were brought to the island to work on sugarcane, orange, and coffee plantations. And over the years, there was a lot of mixing between the people. After the plantation, the island was used as a penal colony for some time. And then after that, the main economic activity changed to fisheries.
In the past, a large portion of the island's profits stemmed from whale poaching, as whale meat was high in demand. However, as mentioned in the last episode, many conservation regulations were put into place that stopped whale poaching altogether. Now, the island's main source of fishing is limited to small-scale artisanal fishers. Also, after Ilha Grande gained its independence from Portugal, some fisheries on the island became Japanese factories, and even today, there remains a large Japanese community. They have imprinted a unique culture and fusion in cuisine. Dishes with soy sauce and ginger, for example.
In Vila do Abu, especially, there is an abundance of seafood restaurants that mix a variety of different cultures.
And as much as we are for the protection of the fish, a moeca de peixe is to die for.
Yeah, as lifetime friends, we've had our fair share of meals, but we always go back to moeca de peixe. Are we bad people for saying that?
Well, no, I wouldn't say we were bad people. I mean, maybe you two are.
Oh, okay.
And I also wouldn't say we were lifetime friends.
Oh, that's not. You need to leave.
But
You need to leave.
I'll agree with you that Moeka Jipeshi is to die for.
Glad you feel
Good
that
to
way.
know how you feel.
Yeah,
Like,
no
wow,
way.
which is great. Well, anyways, moving on. Don't forget about the peixe frito com farofa e camarão no morango. It takes me back to the old days.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to agree with you again. Those are two very good things.
Bro.
Honestly, it's
You can
hard to
be
go.
nice for once in your life.
Hey, I'm being as nice as I can be.
Okay, well.
Gonna tweak. You continue.
All right, thank you. So, as I was saying before I was interrupted, it is very hard to go wrong with food on the island. And that's because of the island's deep connection to culture, with many cultural practices having some relation to fishing or aquatic life. Many coastal Brazilians also worship Imanji, the goddess of the sea, who is believed to be responsible for watching over the ocean, guiding fishermen, and protecting sailors. This was brought over from Africa, showing Ilagranji's diverse cultural background. And on January 1st, people run into the sea and jump over 7 waves, and sometimes they'll even offer gifts to the ocean, which is their way of ensuring safe passage through the ocean and having good luck while fishing.
And we personally know people who follow this belief, like Jacob, for example.
Sorry, just remembering you
We see
tripping
it all
on
the
the way in the ocean.
I don't know what's so wrong with
You
that.
tripped on the way in. I don't think you jumped
They
over
didn't even
this.
know that.
You
They
didn't
didn't
jump
even know
over the wave. You
I think it's important to know that Jacob contributes to the belief.
I do.
Okay.
Yes. But I did not fall. I purposely went
Hold on,
into
let me
the
pull up the
water.
video.
Okay.
Alright, let's move
And
on.
as you were saying,
Was I saying something? Yeah, not to mention every July, Japanese communities host a festival celebrating their culture, featuring arts and food. They will sell special dishes, clothing, and other items in a variety of markets throughout the town.
some of the most beautiful memories are made during this festival, including our own, as we are lifetime friends. Even though Jacob does not want to admit it, we are. Anyways.
Okay, so having experienced both of these festive events in the past, I would highly recommend that you put it on your bucket list if you ever do visit our island. And just as these dishes and activities are tied to the island's marine ecosystem, so is Iagranji's economy. While fishing once stood as the dominant source of income for the Kaisara communities, tourism has now emerged as the prominent economic force.
Many tourist activities are centered around the island's rich marine biodiversity, including boating, snorkeling, and diving. Additionally, jobs such as fishing and cooking for certain restaurants are dependent upon the aquatic ecosystem. This suggests that a sustainable proportion of local employment, an estimate of 50 to 60%, is connected to the aquatic ecosystem in some way. Marine tour guides and activity hosts make roughly 500 to 600 USD every month on average, due to Ilagranji being the third most popular tourist destination in South America. However, this value is constantly changing as certain months have higher tourism demands.
And traditional fishing remains an integral part of Ilagranji's culture and economy. However, with the rise of tourism, the proportion of the population solely dependent on fishing has decreased. The fishing sector now represents a smaller segment of the local economy compared to tourism. There are approximately 34 fishing communities on Ilagranji, totaling about 817 artisanal fishers. Based on the current population data, about 8.6% of people in Ilagranji are artisanal fishers, making up only 330 USD each month on average.
Yeah, and so while this may not seem like much, and it would definitely not satisfy my greedy, selfish, shopaholic co-hosts,
Okay.
it is important to remember that the people of Iagranji live simple, relaxing lifestyles that do not require frequent spending.
Oh, that sounds really bratty. That sounded really bratty.
You
Can
just
we-
love to hate on us.
Hater.
Let's
hater.
stop interrupting me, please.
Oh, me. I.
So, as I was saying, fishing to them isn't just necessarily only a source of income. It's a way of life. It reflects it reflects centuries worth of culture and practices on the island, and a deep, multifaceted connection to the ocean.
However, as tourism and industrialization increases, so does the potential threat to the delicate balance of the aquatic ecosystem. Be sure to tune in to our next episode, which will be released on Sunday, as we will be discussing the aquatic threats of eel grunge.
And that's all for today's episode of BAMJ Praia. We'd like to thank our special viewers and followers. Love is greatly appreciated.
Thank you, everyone.
It would be so appreciative if you dropped a follow, and as always, não tem pressa, e nem sem viver devagar. Ciao! And we're not shopaholics, and we are friends. Oh.